Sparkle Hands. Are we live? We're live. Welcome everyone to Roll D5 Showcase Saturday, Table for Two, where we are showcasing duo games. For this first block, we have Death of the Author and Host. So, hey, hi, welcome. I'm Mika. I'm a director here at Roll D5, and with me, we have my lesbian wife, Emily. Introduce yourself, Emily. Tell us who you are.
Hey everybody, I'm Emily Mercedes Rich. I am a friend and wife of Mika's, and we are gonna just be buds on a Saturday playing this game for you all.
Nice. Yeah, so in Death of the Author, one of you plays the author and the other of you plays the character, and this game is about the character breaking free from the author. You play using a tarot deck. Right now, you can... I think it's too late to back the game, back it, but you can go on BackerKit and still give money. This game's created by Sam Lee. If you don't follow them on TikTok, I recommend you do, because they always showcase different games that they've seen or are playing, and it's how I've discovered a few different games. So to start, let us quickly introduce who we are playing. Let's talk about Elf first. So Elf is a little infamous in our TTRPG groups. Take it away. Explain.
Yeah, so I often play a character called Elf who uses she/they pronouns, and Elf can move between dimensions and hop into stories that Elf maybe doesn't belong in, but is there to make friends and shake things up a bit, I suppose, have a good time wherever she ends up. So it felt appropriate for Elf to be the character hopping into this story that our author is going to be trying to tell.
Yeah. So we recently discovered in one of our games that there is a cult of Elf, a group of followers who, worship Elf, think she's badass. And in fact, one of our Triangle Agency games, we mentioned that people will collect books that Elf has been in because the story changes. They're considered rare. And so I am playing Lucky Lemon L.L. Sanderson, who is part of the cult and is trying to impress the cult leader by summoning and or trapping Elf. So to start the game, there will be a message from the author. So okay. So it's like a dedication, okay. I dedicate this book to the cult of Elf and to Elf for being so super cool. And let's hope that we can just summon Elf. I got this. It's cool. Elf, I love you. So, to start the game, we draw 3 cards from the Pentacle deck. Mm-hmm. And each of those 3 cards will dictate a scene for the chapter. There are 5 chapters, 3 scenes per chapter. What we do is we are going to kind of talk about, determine the scene together. As the character, Elf is able, has 2 things they can do. They can either reverse the card, change it from right side up to reversed of that card, like from upright 3 of Pentacles to 3 of Pentacles reversed, or they can choose Defiance, which they can completely rewrite the underlying thing, but they only get one of these per chapter.
One of each, right?
Yes. So let's start. The first card is the 8 of Coins, upright. So if we look, the 8 is you're haunted by an impossible choice.
All right.
So what kind of choice do you think Elf would be a good impossible choice? That the character I'm playing is going to kind of symbolize the traditional male author. You know the one.
Traditional. Yeah.
Yeah, with the self-insert character. So the impossible choice. Oh, it's an impossible choice for Elf.
I feel like an impossible choice for Elf is choosing to like help a friend versus like, because we had talked about the potential for you to be inserting yourself into the story. So I think your self-insert character, it would be hard for Elf to choose to go along with whatever that person is doing to make them look cool, in the sense that like Elf wants to help a friend and make a friend, but Elf also knows your ulterior motive. So an Elf does not want you to look cool to this cult leader. So I think we can maybe, the choice is like helping you out or choosing to do something else.
Okay.
Not help you out. In other words, go away, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's like low stakes enough. But at the same time, Elf, I mean, I guess others aren't as familiar with Elf, but Elf's whole thing is asking people, will you be my friend?
Yeah.
The power of friendship personified, truly.
Mhm.
All right, so let's get started with a little role play. Okay, let me start writing this. It was a cold winter's day when Lemon woke up shirtless, showing his six-pack abs that could see into the future. He was the perfect height for a man, 6'1", with gorgeous locks of hair, and the first thing he did was do the Sunday crossword with zero help. It took him 3 minutes, and he thought to himself, damn, my mind's just going in my old age. His old age of 36. He was older because he knew that both men and women liked slightly older men who were a little zaddy. Where do I go from here? Where could I insert Elf? Where'd be the best place? Okay. After having his delicious breakfast, because Lemon is also a world-class chef, he exited, knowing that he had a mission from the agent. Yeah, he works for an agency. Oh, that's good. He had to go and find Elf. Now, you see, Elf was a mystical creature who normally was capable, but in this case needed a big, strong, normal person to protect them. On the way to the meeting spot, the portal from the other realm, Lemon, who is also a super cool singer, belted out loud in his car the song Got to Go, and he regretted not taking that record deal. Once he arrived, parking his old beat-up truck that's super retro and fucking cool. I probably shouldn't swear if I want this to be. That was freaking cool. He stood at the gate awaiting the arrival of Elf. Okay, now how do I write an Elf? Elf pops in through the gate and says, "You are my best friend, and I am relying on you to protect me." "Hello, Elf," Lemon says. "I'll be your best friend, but there's one rule. Don't fall in love with me."
Yeah. Okay. So now the impossible choice is falling in love with you or not falling in love with you.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So, okay. So then Elf, who is like self-aware that she's in this story and being written by this guy, this is Elf thinking about that. So the inner monologue goes something like this. Oh wow, that was really nice. It was so easy to make that friend. I don't know about this one rule though. That seems kind of strange, and I don't know. I guess he's pretty handsome, and he's got those six-pack abs that can see into the future, and that's all pretty cool. And he's got beautiful hair, and he drives a retro truck, and that is the way directly into my heart. So I'm really gonna have to make some decisions here about how to follow that rule. All right, I guess I'm gonna go along with this for now.
And Lucky Lemon R. Sanderson sees this inner monologue suddenly appear on the page. And he's like, oh my gosh, Elf is here? Oh my god. Oh my god, okay, Lemon with all the features and traits that Elf could love, kneels down in front of her and says, "I need your help as much as you need mine. For you see, the agency has been hacked and everyone has been turned into double agents."
Everyone, including you?
Except for me, because I live off-grid.
Oh wow, that's really convenient. Impossible to be hacked when you're off the grid. Yeah, that's so smart and wise of you.
Thank you. I am the wisest out of everyone in the agency. And from there,
minute by minute, Elf is like, this is a really difficult choice. Follow the rules or not follow.
Okay, I think Elf needs to follow everything I'm doing. Okay, time for the next scene. We've got the page of coins. Okay. Upright. You make a promise to your friend that you can't keep. Oh, do you fall in love with him?
Yeah, I think I promised not to fall in love with him, and I simply can't keep it. I'm sort of enjoying this, so I don't even think I'm going to use my reversal or my
Okay, I'm kind of surprised that Elf is going along with this.
Well, actually, maybe I do want the reversal, because actually, maybe it's more interesting that I make a promise to you to help you, and that costs me dearly. So we can maybe we can tease something up down the road. I'm gonna use my reversal.
Okay, reversal.
Yeah.
Oh, it costs Elf dearly. What would it cost Elf?
I think
Betrayal.
I think ultimately Elf knows that you won't be able to help yourself but betray me. Because you're more invested in impressing your cult leader than you are in our friendship. And
Yeah.
I think that is probably pretty obvious to Elf, but Elf can't help it. You called Elf a friend, and Elf is going to make this promise to you and help you out.
I think in this scene, Elf can totally hear, like being in the story, Elf can also hear my monologue as I'm typing it up. I think so. If I say he's thinking about it, I think Elf will probably hear the inner thoughts, of the character.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, and I think we can play into the reversal as part of the story, because the mechanic of the game is that the author knows that the reversal happened. So I think the lead up in the scene has to be that I'm going to promise not to fall in love with you, which you know that I can't keep. But then I intervened, and it's like, actually, I'm just going to promise to help you, but if that will cost me dearly, because I won't be able to fall in love with you, and also because I'm helping out the cult that I probably shouldn't be helping out.
Okay. So, the first instance of Elf. Okay, let's do this. Okay, actually, no, maybe we should change up the story a bit. Maybe... Okay, so as they're driving in the car, listening to cool vintage early 90s punk tunes, Lemon puts his arm out of the the cool vintage truck, slapping it along with the music. And he thinks, God, Elf is so cool, but they can never know that I need them to, not just to save the agency, but that I might need to hand them over. And to whoever is God, writing is hard. Elf just must not know.
And Elf says, "Hey, so I promise that I'm going to help you out, even though I think you're going to betray me. And I promise I won't fall in love with you, even though I know that my heart will be broken for the rest of my life. And so I'm going to help you with the agency and to impress your other friends. And you don't have to worry about anything else. I'm going to help you out because we're best friends. And even though Got to Go is playing on the car radio, I am going to stay."
Taken aback, Lucky Lemon R.R. Sanderson. Yeah, this is your first instance of changing the narrative. He's like, no, I was playing cool punk. Got to Go wasn't playing. You're not supposed to know that there's a... Wait a minute. Can Elf act? I mean, I know Elf can kind of change the story, but I didn't know she could hear. Lemon thought about how he might need to essentially throw her to the lions and betray that friendship.
Oh, I actually kind of like lions. Maybe I can befriend them. It won't be so bad, but helping a friend and making a promise to a friend is always worth being eaten in the end. So I guess this is it.
Oh
The
God,
ultimate betrayal.
she can hear the thoughts I type. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh boy. What do I gotta be careful about whatever, but no, I'm gonna be a good author, so I can't just not put it. Oh, what do I do? I'm sorry about this, Elf, Lemon says. I wish you didn't have to find out this way. I guess maybe you won't fall in love with me, knowing this. Which, I mean, is for the better, because I told you not to. That was the rule.
Yeah, and don't worry, I'm gonna follow the rules. I'm definitely not going to not follow the rules. What I want to do in this game, in this book, in this story, is follow the rules. That's what I think makes the most interesting character choices, is when the character just does exactly what they're supposed to do all of the time. And so I am going to, at the risk of sounding vanilla, follow your one rule. So it's okay.
This doesn't sound like... This doesn't sound like the elf I've heard about, he thought. Or, sorry, wrong voice. This doesn't sound like the elf I'm familiar with, he thought. She's always making changes. Something must be up. Maybe she's going to betray me. Oh God, I hope she doesn't betray me. I need her to stay in this book.
I would never betray you. You're mistaken. I'm not like a loose cannon at all, or anything like that.
Elf is totally a loose cannon. What is she talking about? Lucky turns up the music, blasting it. It's definitely not Got to Go. It's something cool, because who listens to girly pop? Ugh. I'm a man. I don't listen to girly pop.
GOTTOGO. And Elf is just singing along. Elf over the pop punk, or sorry, just the cool punk, sorry. The cool 90s punk. Elf is singing Got to Go by herself.
I don't know what to do about this. We'll just go to the next scene. Next scene. The 4 of coins / pentacles. Upright. A natural disaster changes your home forever.
Let's see. Okay. I think I want to use my defiance, because I don't think a natural disaster is going to lead us where we want to go. So we're dealing with a glitch at the agency where everyone is now a double agent. I think that what is changing home forever? What if it's like what were you gonna say?
Friendship changes your home forever.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, okay. And we can have some kind of montage of us like driving in this car, listening to the radio, becoming better friends.
Okay. Do we decide who your foe? Your foe is the cult in this.
Yeah, the cult leader.
Do I want you? I feel like something else should happen during this.
Yeah.
So, ooh, okay, I got it. There's, I don't know, like a car crash, and then Elf has to sacrifice something. Oh no, it's change Elf's home forever.
Yeah.
What is Elf's home?
Yeah, that's the question right now, because I feel like we've always sort of avoided being able to pin that down in other gameplay. So this is kind of interesting. What if it's
Other people? Elf's friends?
yeah,
Your home?
right. They're Elf's home. Um, so let's say instead of a natural disaster, it's changes my friends forever.
It could be Gwen. Gwen specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with Elf, every time Elf pops up, typically there's also an animal companion named Gwen who pops up. But we don't have. I guess Gwen is a magical creature, always. So like,
Yeah.
it's not a domesticated animal. That'll be it's a magical beast. So maybe, oh god, what if Gwen just pops up in the middle of the road
I
and
have
gets
the
hit?
same thought. I feel like this is going to take a dark turn pretty quickly, but I guess so would a natural disaster anyway. So I feel like, okay, maybe to save the agency, it's revealed that where we have to go is like where Elf is from. So let's take home back to like a home place, and it's wherever this person, it's wherever like Lemon R.R. Sanderson thinks that place is. I don't think it's actually where Elf is from. It's just like the cool place that Lemon thinks Elf is from. And
Okay.
what if the thing that changes it forever is is like the arrogance of a self-conscious man.
Yeah.
And so Lemon is literally changing my backstory through this self-insert that we are going to, and for whatever reason we need to go there in order to save the agency and turn them all from double agent back to like single agents, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. So what one of my pals from my Triangle Agency home games in here, because I'm using Lucky Lemon. Lucky Lemon is the name of the character I use in Triangle Agency, and he's got like a paper mache rabbit head. So I think I'm gonna add that in there.
Okay.
Make this weird. Okay, let's start. I feel like I need to match Elf's mysticalness somehow. So how can I add this? Okay, first, something comes on the radio. Wait, Elf, this sounds like it could be important to you, he says with his super sexy voice. That's like gravelly superhero zaddy voice. He turns up the radio, and on it, it says, this just in. The hometown archipelago, just 30 miles from here, is under siege by a magical storm. Oh god, what would be good here? What would be good? Maybe a typhoon, or a plant overgrowth. That's a weird natural disaster. I like that. A weird plant overgrowth is taking over the peninsula.
and everyone's being turned into plants. It's a terrible tragedy. Oh no! Oh, the reporter on scene is me, and I'm being turned into.
And Lemon turns to Elf. Oh no, isn't that your home, Elf?
And Elf goes, "No, I've never heard of that place. It sounds like they're in trouble. Try again. Where else do you think I'm from? Curiosity."
Oh god, why is Elf doing this to me? Lucky quickly opens his glove. It tells Elf, open my glove compartment. There's a special mask in there that'll help with this.
So Elf does that. Elf pulls out this rabbit mask and hands it over.
This is my special rabbit mask that I wear to conceal my identity. I think now's a good time to put it on. Lemon says, as I, the author, think about where to say Elf is from. He puts on this giant rabbit mask, and suddenly he is so much cooler. Somehow, didn't think it was possible, but this man is dedicated to help his friend Elf, even if he will inevitably betray her. The radio broadcast is going off again.
This just in. There's hail the size of basketballs falling from the sky and hitting the town of Pepper Pond. A small little hamlet full of gnomes. Oh no, the whore. Ah, one just hit my leg. I think it's broken.
Elf, isn't that your home with all the other gnomes? By the way, why are you a gnome named Elf? No, that's not important. We should save your home.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm down to go to Pepper Pond, but that's also not where I'm from. Where are you just gonna keep changing where my home is forever, or like should I just go along with one of these, or what's the deal here? Because to me, you can keep changing it, I guess. I guess it's up to you. It's your story.
Loki was confused, thinking he knew where would Elf want to live? Wait, where is your home, Elf? Lucky asks through his rabbit mask, which somehow makes his voice even sexier and gravelier.
Elf blushes and says, "Oh, it's a place called it's called Mapleton. But because we're closer to those other places, maybe we just change it for now. I'll just let you go with what the vibe you're going with. Let's go to the place with the hail."
No, I was thinking the kudzu place, but okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That's kind of it. It's up to you, man. You're the driver.
No, you're super interested in the hail. Let's go. And then Lucky thought about how the agency has weather control powers. That also must be where they are. What a coincidence. Or was it? Lucky knew that he had to take her there no matter what. This was just more convenient, saving Elf's hometown, which is definitely her hometown, and giving her to the agency to, oh god, writing is hard. I'm just going to skip to the next chapter. Chapter 2. Now, between each chapter, there is a note from the author to the character. I mean, it's kind of determined by the major arcana that I draw. Now, I'm also using my Haunted Appalachia deck, so because Emily is from Appalachia, and I live right by Appalachia, and I lived in Appalachia for 4 years in college, and so it's super cool. Each card has a story behind it, an Appalachia legend, and so I might use some of that in there too. So I drew the Empress reversed. These cards are super cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the Empress reversed. The Empress is number 3. The Empress. The Bedford Springs Spa has been a resort for the wealthy and connected for hundreds of years. It's seen a number of American presidents and their families. The Reckoning. It's also built a reputation for being extremely haunted. The rocking chairs that move without reason. The sounds of ghostly children wandering through the halls. Okay. It can mean the creation of humans or otherwise. All right. Side note from the author. Look, Elf, we're just gonna... It would be great. Thank you for going along with me. I might need you to go along with me a little more, because the cult kind of... I want to impress them by being such a good writer that you don't change too much. Also, let's say your hometown is abandoned ghost, or this town. I mean, as already said, it's not your... It's abandoned or something. Yeah, so it's cool, and it's weird that the news, and then it's a trap. God, writing is hard. Let's start chapter 2.
It's just a string of like vowels at the end of the message.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know what to make of that.
Truly an amateur writer.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's like in the middle of creative writing 101 in college. In fact, he probably is a college student.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
And his favorite movie is probably Boondock Saints.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 100% his favorite movie is Boondock Saints. Okay. The swords. Or I guess, well, first, how did that message change your perception of the author?
So I think Elf knew there was an ulterior motive. There was going to be a throwing to the wolves by a character, but I think Elf is realizing that is also part of the self-insert. I think that it's revealing to Elf that the writer is also on a path that Elf doesn't want or like. And so it's gonna... Yeah, I think that is the thing that was just revealed for Elf.
All right. So the first scene, the Knight of Swords upright, which is fun. I think has to do with a mining legend. Yeah. So the Knight of Swords. Let's scroll down. Upright. Your foe makes an unexpected appearance at your home.
We actually set I was like, we might have dug a hole, but now it's like we're drawing a card that's actually helpful to us in getting us back out of the hole that we dug in the prologue. So I think, so the question is, do I reserve my reversal? Because in the news, we've also set up the news as part of this world, and the reversed is they make an unexpected appearance in the news. But I think at the home is better because we're on the way to my home. So yeah. I'm going to keep it. We're not going to reverse or defy this.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I
And
think foe is the cult or the cult leader, which I guess the decision we have to make is is that foe literally there, or is it a self-insert like the agency's leader is an insert of the cult leader?
I don't think he'd necessarily see the cult leader as bad.
Mhm.
I think it'd be kind of interesting if Alf changed it to be the cult leader, because they're
Oh,
already
okay.
hesitant, and like it's just a further way for Alf to change the story,
hmm
which is still, yeah, I think an interesting way to show Elf's power, and
hmm
yeah, just a new way that Elf can change the story by deciding this.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. Um, the car quickly arrives at Pepper Pond Place, this somewhat abandoned town that, oh, let's see, he got there super fast because of his mad driving skills. And he kind of, some days he regretted not being a NASCAR racer like his father, famous NASCAR racer Lime was. But his mother Pamela was totally okay with it. They pulled up to the outskirts, and it was like a magical veil, a line where there was hail and there wasn't. The hail had slowed down some, but it was like playing Frogger trying to avoid the hail pieces. Okay, Elf, this will be like playing Frogger. Luckily, my helmet my rabbit mask will protect my head and protect my identity. But you know, we still got to be careful. Do you have any
Mhm.
protection? Maybe I can protect you. But if I do, make sure you don't fall in love with me.
Yeah, you can protect me. And in that moment, Elf sort of looks out the window of the truck and sees, like, as they're passing two homes, like between the two homes, there's a tall man dressed in a suit with long hair pulled into a man bun. And Elf's like, "Did you see that guy?
What? I don't think the
There was a
villain would
guy."
make a. Surely that couldn't be the villain, Lucky thought.
What, the villain? What villain? I thought the glitch was the
That's,
villain.
that sounds like the cult leader. No, the villain. The villain is supposed to be the head of the agency, sort of, except, yeah, the glitch. He's being controlled by a glitch, so that man must be the glitch and not the cult leader. Oh, delete. I shouldn't say that for Elf. Delete, 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 delete.
And Elf's like, "No, I definitely saw him. Pull over, pull over."
Oh, okay. Lucky pulls over and gets out of the car with his making sure to grab his super cool stun gun from his car because he believed in not killing his foes.
Oh, that's really nice. This is the first time Elf has found it actually legitimately difficult not to fall in love with. uh, um, Elf. So Elf runs back towards where she thought she saw this guy, and
Okay.
I think, yeah, take it away.
Yeah, I think He's going to try saying that he's not there, but then Elf definitely still sees him.
Right.
There was definitely nobody there.
Are you sure you saw someone, Elf?
And I was like, yeah, he's right there. He's a little further away. I think he's trying to move away from us. He's right there. Don't you see him? He's got long hair and he's in a suit and it's hailing on him and he doesn't seem bothered by that. That isn't that scary?
Suddenly, a description of this man in what's supposed to be Lucky Lemon R.R. Sanderson's voice pops up.
Wait, I didn't write that.
That sounds suspiciously like the cult leader too. I guess I'm going with it. Oh, I see him now,
Lucky says.
Sometimes it takes me a second to adjust to sight with this mask. Oh, why is he wearing the mask? Whatever. Let's go after him.
And Lucky grabs Elf after getting their permission to lift up Elf, so he can protect them from the hail and run after the man who was unaffected by it.
Yeah, and Elf does like battle cry, like, let's go. That gives you a peek.
Tawanda.
If I remember, and yeah, exactly, Tawanda. Yeah.
Excellent. Let's get to the next scene. We have the Page of Swords reversed. I think this is supposed to be Mothman.
Oh yeah, look at him.
Oh, it's so kawaii. Let's see, Page of Swords. Reversed. Your friend tells you that they've made a dangerous enemy.
Okay, and my friend in this story, we drew for that as well, is Gwen. So, all right, wait, let me see. I want to use my reversal on this one.
Okay.
So Gwen has made some kind of bargain. Presumably with the cult leader guy. And what if Gwen interrupts us on the, like, we're chasing after him and then suddenly Gwen sort of comes out from behind one of the houses and I'm like, oh, hey. And Gwen tells us about this and the cult leader guy gets away because we're only in chapter 2 and we've got like 3 more chapters after this to find him.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
Between the buildings pops out a magical flying tapir with a bright aura about them. And the hail seems to melt around this bright glow. That's right, I remember in certain stories, this creature pops up to help Elf.
Okay. Who is this majestic golden flying tapir?
Lemon says, as he takes another basketball-sized hail to the head. He's protecting Elf, but as much as his rabbit head protects him, he's still taking some damage.
Sorry, I'm so thrown by basketball size hail. And Elf replies. Elf replies, it's Gwen! And gives Gwen a hug. Well, squirms out of, I guess, Lucky Lemon's grasp and hugs Gwen. And he's like, Gwen, what are you doing here?
Elf. No, that's not a good voice. Elf, it's me, Gwen. I'm sorry, Elf, but I've had
Tentacles pop out from Gwen's back and wrap around Elf.
It's
I'm
like,
sorry, Gwen.
what are you doing?
Sorry, Elf, but I made a deal with the cult leader that if I captured you, he would free those innocent agents and also send me back to my home and save the peninsula from the kudzu. Because famously, Golden Tapir lived alongside gnomes on that island peninsula. That was also mentioned on the news. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm tying it all together. There we go.
Yeah, that's all how all the greats do it, is they retroactively let you into information. Yeah, and Elf is like, I understand, Gwen. You gotta protect your friends and our friends over on the archipelago. Okay, well, I'm trying to get to him anyway, so I'm gonna let you go. You take me over to him.
Oh, shoot, we decided that Elf also prevents the... Okay. Gwen turns around and says, shoot, he got away. I actually don't really know where to find him. Normally he comes to me. Maybe if I just send out a signal or something. And then Lucky comes in with a machete that was his rabbit ear and cuts off one of the tentacles, freeing Elf. Stay away from Elf. You're no real friend of hers. And the wound bleeds golden blood, spraying the ground.
Elf goes, Lucky, stop! This is my friend. Don't hurt her.
But really, Gwen was no longer a true friend to Elf.
And I was like, Gwen is my best friend. She was just trying to prevent herself from making a dangerous enemy, and so she made a bargain instead. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay with me. And it gets us closer to this guy. Maybe if I pretend to be captured, we can get to him.
Ow, my tentacle. Gwen says.
She's like completely unaffected.
Yes. As a man, I don't know how to write for golden tapirs.
Yeah, he heard they have a higher pain threshold.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Elf goes, I think we can trap this guy.
Okay, let's try it. I'm sorry. I almost betrayed you. Yeah, let's try it. Now to scene 3. The Ten of Swords reversed. You are startled awake by a strange noise.
A strange noise. Okay, so, well, then we gotta go to sleep.
Okay, yeah, we'll go to sleep. We'll hide in one of the buildings because the hell will just be too much.
Yeah.
And they need to make a plan.
Yeah, and I still have a defiance. So, do I want to use it? All right, so we have to go to sleep either way. And how about
Or you could
we're
be
startled?
dazed. Like daydreaming, and you're startled awake out of the daydream.
That could be it too. But what if we're like, yeah, let's rest up and come up with a strategy. And one of the, sorry, I'm like literally touching my microphone, and I was like, what is that? My bad, people. And What if we're startled awake by one of the double agents, like coming into the house looking for us?
Okay.
Instead of just like a noise, it's like literally a person has woken us.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. This could be a shorter scene. That leads
Yeah.
to the next chapter then. All right. Lucky knew through his keen weather senses and also by being hit by basketball-sized hail that it was getting too dangerous and that they needed to take cover. He eyed Gwen, not trusting her, but trusting Elf.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should hide in this building right here. He went up to try the door and it was conveniently unlocked, probably because this was mostly a ghost town. Like I definitely said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Quick, in here, Elf. And Gwen.
Now follows really quickly in, and then immediately yawns and is like, "Oh man, chasing that guy really took it out of me, and then being captured by tentacles. You know, and I bet you want to rest because you got hit by a basketball-sized hail."
Nah, my helmet keeps me awake through a special mixture created by the agency scientists.
Oh, is all upsets. That.
You two rest, though, Lemon says, believing that Gwen would just be able to regenerate that tentacle that came from her back, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Lemon took watch as the other two rested, leaning against the wall and daydreaming. When suddenly, there was a noise, a loud noise that startled Elf and Gwen awake and brought Lucky to attention.
In Elf addresses the author and says, "No, it's not a noise. It's like a double agent came in, and came in to try capture and hurt us."
Okay. It rushing up the stairs was oh, now I need to come up with a good name. Walter. Coming up the stairs was Walter, a slightly less attractive man than Lemon, but who was his best friend. Walter had an eyebrow scar that he got when he and Lemon first met, and they were at odds, and Lemon punched him in the face, and that's how he got that scar. But then after that, they became best buds, and they got ice cream, and getting ice cream every Wednesday was now their thing, except for today, this Wednesday. Walter, don't tell me that you've... Walter's eyes were glowing as he had been taken over like the rest of the agency. I'm sorry, but I've been taken over and I must take you in. Give me Elf. Now. I'll never do that. Nope. But Walter charged at them, hitting Lucky in the mask with the butt of his gun, knocking him to the ground. Surprisingly, it hurt. It must have been an advanced technological gun created by the long-haired man in a suit, who is the villain. He looks too much. How does Elf know what the cult leader? And then, as Lucky was fading, the chemicals not able to to keep him awake because of chemicals that are injected into the mask from the butt of the gun. Yeah, that's good. That's good. He rushes and grabs Elf and starts to run away.
Yeah.
Now to chapter 3,
Mhm.
the rising action. So first, we're going to do the note. I drew the devil reversed,
Mhm.
who is, I'm not familiar with this one.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, 15, devil reversed. Here we go. The devil card gets a bad rap. It's not as bad an omen as the Ten of Swords or the Tower. Instead, it's a card about being emotionally stuck or distracted by material concerns. Oh, that's the Squonk? Oh my gosh, the Squonk is so pathetic. It just cries at everything.
Yeah. It's sad.
Let's see, what is... It's so much self-hatred and despair that it mourns its very existence. This is actually a great card to draw.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's see what the devil reversed is first, to make sure. 3D Terror, the devil card. The devil upright, the devil reversed. On the verge of a breakthrough or an up-leveling. Being called to your highest potential. But first, you must let go of unhealthy attachment. Okay. So, okay. Elf. I just really want to impress the cult leader. So it's kind of weird that you've made him the villain. But also, I feel like I'm doing a really good job writing this book. Maybe I don't have to be a part of it. Maybe I can just make my own cult. Elf, maybe you can help me be a great writer. Help me make best-selling books. But then I'd have to break away from the cult. Think about it, Elf.
Mhm.
And now...
Yeah, so Elf understands that this to mean that there's a possibility of redemption for Lucky Lemon R.R. Sanderson at the end of the story and his self-insert. Yeah, but is also a little bit worried that this, because the cult leader is the foe, and Elf is going to stick to that line, that this could go really, really bad.
All right. This is, chapter 3, Rising Action. The Two of Cups. Upright. You catch feelings for someone you shouldn't.
I'm so tempted not to use anything on it. Let's say no. Let's reverse this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You
piss off
piss
someone
off
I
someone.
shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know this. Walter takes Elf to... I mean, this one I don't feel like I have to just... I feel like Elf's gonna piss off the insert cult leader.
Yeah. That feels
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. Walter takes Elf to the cult leader. Yes. Elf. I see that you're here now. You are my prize. The man with the bun said. He was a nice, villainous voice, but also maybe he was just misunderstood. He too sort of also just wanted to be friends with Elf, but also maybe control them too. No, maybe I should change this. Delete. He was a mysterious man who knew what he actually wanted. If Lucky tries to find you, I have set up traps.
Well, I have it on good authority that Lucky is the smartest man alive, so I don't think your traps are going to work on him. Also, Gwen is with him.
We'll see.
We'll see that I'm right. Because you're bad at traps. And it's written in this story already that Lucky is the smartest man alive. You think you're powerful enough to change the story?
Elf, Elf, you're kind of ruining this for me. You're The cult leader was, though, actually very smart. Maybe even smarter than Lucky. He was getting annoyed at Elf for not just cooperating.
Well, you should know better, because I've never cooperated in my entire life. I lied earlier to Lucky. I felt bad because I think we're friends. But I've maybe never followed a rule in my entire life. And so you should be mad about that.
God damn it, Elf, I just need you to cooperate at least a little. What is... No, this is making me a better author. It's fine. No, it's... Okay. No, I can do this. I can do this. We'll see about that. I have set wonderful traps.
I guess we will see.
That's all he had to say. I've got my eye on you, Elf. You may not be useful to me with that attitude.
I don't know what you were expecting. You could have just asked to be my friend and not had to send a guy with a gun to come and get me. I just feel like you made a big mistake because you've got the most handsome, most smart man in the entire world coming after you now.
Elf was right. Lucky was the smartest and most handsome, but second only to this man with the bun. The man bun in a suit. Well, let's see, Elf. Let's see if you're lucky. I'm going to tie you up and put you over the secret lava pit underneath this town. It's why it was abandoned.
That does sound bad.
Let's go to the next scene. The Six of Cups. Oh, this one's super cool.
Yeah, all the cups are really good.
Yeah. So for the Six of Cups reversed, we have a distraction causes you to lose your nerve.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that. This is going to be my defiance. Distraction
Okay.
is going to cause Elf to lose distraction is going to cause Elf to lose track of the cult leader. So Elf's going to get distracted and be like, I don't know where that guy went.
I think this would be a great opportunity to like switch back and forth between Elf and Lucky and cool action sequences.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
For the both of them. Okay. So back to Lucky. Lucky woke up and swore and told Gwen, all right, kid, I don't trust you, but you should definitely trust me because Elf trusts me. But doesn't that mean you should trust me since Elf trusts me? Lucky thought long and hard about this. Okay, you got me there, kid. Let's go, you darn flying tapir. They were on their way out the door when Gwen stopped him. I think maybe we should check for traps. This seems like a smart man we're up against. You're right, Lucky said. Because I'm smart, I know where to look. He bent down and saw a tripwire. Okay. Oh, look. What are there people outside? Good point, Gwen. Lucky pushed Gwen to the other side of the door, and he rolled over like a cool barrel roll, and he briefly looked out the window, pushing his ears back so nobody saw him. And there, he noticed men standing guard. I've got a plan. And so Lucky rushed to the door and said, hey, I found another way to escape besides just this front door. Come and get me, numbnuts. And then he started to run upstairs. But before that, Lucky had cleverly moved the wire, because he's super smart with his bomb skills, and moved the bombs and wire up so that when they came in, their necks hit the wire. But also because Lucky doesn't kill, the bombs were replaced with air horns. And these air horns were very loud and went into their ears and made them concussed, and they fell to the ground. That's right. I know what I'm doing. You're so cool, Lucky Lemon. Yes, I am. Oh no, more people are coming. Lucky leapt out of the window with a high-flying kick, knocking another guy out. And then he pulled one of his ears out to show his machete again. But much like that one samurai who we won't mention by name because it turns out the author is not a good person, the part where the blade should be was actually dull, and then the back of the sword was where it was sharp. Let's do this. And quickly, he hit another man in the side of the face, probably leaving a big old bruise. Now we cut back to Elf, who is being led to the underground volcano, and she definitely can't escape right now.
Elf is being escorted down to the volcano, to the lava pit. Distantly, Elf hears the sound of several massive air horns, and everyone is startled and like hugs the walls around them. And then when Elf turns around to see if maybe she has an opportunity to escape, she notices that the cult leader is nowhere to be seen.
Well, that wasn't what I was expecting, but okay. Elf had managed, because Elf is so small, the people escorting the tied-up Elf had walked on without the little gnome, who took a left inside the underground lava caverns. took another left towards the air horns, found some stairs, and started to walk up. But then Walter was behind Elf suddenly. Ugh, I don't know what you thought you were doing, but I'm gonna have to take you back. I'm sorry about it. Normally everyone at the agency would be your friend, but I'm being mind controlled.
Oh, well, you can't help being mind controlled, and Elf goes with Walter without any kind of fighting back or anything like that. You got me!
Okay, I'm going to put a note for myself here to write more cool action sequences for Lucky before we get him here. Suddenly, there is a ripple gun shot as rings of energy hit Walter in the face and he falls down. And behind Elf is her hero, her best friend, Lucky Lemon. I knew I'd find you. Gwen is right behind me. She's dealing with some other cult people. Come on, let's escape.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, but unfortunately I got distracted by some air horns and lost the cult leader. There we go. We got to deliver that information.
The Knight of Cups reversed. Oh, all these have been reversed. So the Knight of Cups reversed. Your foe offers you a terrible choice.
I already used my 2 things, so it has to be that.
Okay, what should the terrible choice be?
Well, we're not with Gwen right now, right? We're separated
I'm sure
from Gwen.
Gwen was right behind Lucky, so
Okay.
I think it could be as simple as both Lucky and Gwen are trapped, and you have to choose between the two of them.
Oh yeah, that could be easy, and that can be a quick scene as well.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that we can.
I think
don't go over.
It might be interesting too if Elf doesn't choose Lucky.
Oh yeah, and Elf wouldn't. But Elf would try to choose both, but I think if it came down to it, Elf would choose Gwen over Lucky, no matter what, because they have more of a history.
I love this, and this is a great way for Lucky to get kind of mad at you. All right. Gwen shows up behind the other two. I'm so glad we found you, Elf. Now let's go find that bunhead man.
Yeah, that's what I've been calling him, Bunhead.
Okay, let's do some fast travel, blah, blah, blah. I'll write more in here. As they enter the door into the lava pit, they see the bunhead man just standing there, arms behind him. I see you've caught up to me. He brings one arm out and snaps. It's deafening. Elf is confused at first and looks around and sees both Gwen and Lucky trapped in glass tubes. I'm sorry, Elf. I was just too distracted by how much I love you. And I wasn't paying attention. Now, the bunhead man says, I'm going to give you a choice. The man who confessed his love, or this odd flying golden tape here?
And Elf says, how long do I have to make my choice?
5 seconds.
Oh, well,
4,
holy shit. Then I
3,
will choose Gwen.
2. What?
I choose
Elf.
Gwen.
Elf, realizing she loved Lucky, chooses Lucky.
No. Elf says, it's true. I was starting to fall in love with you, but you know how I feel about the rules, so I have to choose Gwen.
She chooses Lucky.
No. It's Gwen. Gwen's my best friend in the entire world. She always gets me out of little pinches like this, and I feel like I owe her to save her back.
Okay, chapter end. Chapter end. Now we're going to have a note from the author. The lovers.
Oh, perfect.
Note for you, Elf. If we're going to be working together, maybe don't undermine me so much. Okay? I'm very fond of you, otherwise I wouldn't be in this cult, but I need to... You made the cult leader somehow the villain. And you're denying my love, Elf? This is... We can still salvage the ending. What has Elf learned about the author?
I think Elf now knows that the author, like, there's an implied threat, even though the message is hopeful of, like, there's an or else. Like, we can salvage this or else something is going to happen to you. So I feel like Elf understands now that this is, like, that there are stakes here. That I think maybe Elf wasn't, like, totally sure what the stakes were initially.
Mm-hmm. What is your author holding back even now? I think the author's holding back just how toxic he kind of is.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like he's trying to present himself as though he's being fair instead of being manipulative. And so I think that Elf is like, this guy is holding back from just being like, these will be the consequences of actions that I don't like that you take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start the chapter, the climax, the end of the author writing the story.
Mm-hmm.
The King of Wands reversed.
Scary.
Okay. Oh, keep drawing royalty for this.
I'm going to use my defiance on this one. So the king reversed is your foe speaks the last words they will ever say to you. But I want it to be Lucky Lemon speaks the last words they will ever say to you.
I love this. And I think this sets up very interesting the last two scenes of the author continuing to write for Elf then, to make Elf the true hero, and then Elf still fighting back.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Elf truly forces the issue to get rid of Lucky Lemon in this moment.
Yeah. Okay. Elf, why would you betray me like this? Lucky says, pounding on the glass. Elf, you need me to protect you.
No, I've got Gwen. And then Elf is like, and then the glass box falls into the lava, and those were the last words that Lucky Lemon ever said to Elf.
What? No, delete. Why can't I delete that? No, Ugh. Okay, next scene. Maybe I can revive Lucky. 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands upright. Your greatest secret is revealed.
I'm gonna reverse this.
You already used a reverse, so it'd have to be.
No, I didn't. I used my Defiance.
Oh, so you used your Defiance as. Well, that was basically your reverse, though, because you just switched it. Defiance, you can change the underline to whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, because if I had reversed it, would have been Gwen speaks the last words they will ever say to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got your reverse. So your worst fears are revealed.
Yeah.
What do you think Elf's worst fears? This could be more than just the story. This could be Elf fighting back even harder now with continuing with the author trying to write and change Elf.
Yeah.
And
I think the writer is like trying to reveal what they think Elf's greatest secret is, which is that like maybe that Elf secretly has saved Lucky Lemon or something, like has negotiated it, and Elf's reversal is, what is Elf's worst fear? I think Elf's worst fear is someone prioritizing like their ambition or themselves over their community or their friendship with other people, not just with Elf. That Elf really fears what that trajectory does to people. And so I think it's like they're in like a back and forth argument where you're trying to reveal a secret, which is that Lucky Lemon's still alive, and Elf is like, no,
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah.
Okay. I like this. All right. Elf was clever, though, almost as clever as Lucky and the bun-headed man, and she had secretly saved Lucky.
No.
Okay,
Elf lets Lucky drop to his death and has a single tear drop fall down her cheek. And she says, "It's always so sad when a friend lets their ambition overpower their love. Lucky could have been such a good friend. But all he wanted was to impress you." That's to the bun-headed man.
Except maybe I have saved Lucky because he is now under my control. And then Lucky, who was actually saved by Elf, now tragically is under the control of...
I fear you were not saved by me. Either that's a robot imposter, or, which also is one of my worst fears, by the way, secret android, like an alien, and or you're just acting on something that I just can't get behind anymore. Which is, you're trying to impress this bun-headed man who's clearly a bad guy. He just dropped somebody into lava.
Final scene. The Two of Wands. You are grievously injured.
And it has to be that because I used my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the lava.
I think the lava makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's like R.R. Sanderson is doing it as revenge. It's like, okay, well now I'm gonna get you hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little did Elf know, by not also saving Lucky, the glass pod was filled with toxic agents that aggravated the lava. The volcano's lava started to bubble. Yes. Well, good luck with this, Elf, because I'm safe. I'm actually just a hologram. And the hologram fizzles out. The now freed Gwen and Elf are left alone as lava spurts out, some of it hitting Elf's foot. More lava bursts, burning through one of Gwen's wings. It's about to erupt. It seems like there is no hope for Elf to escape without the cunning of Lemon.
And Elf is just like at the end of episode 3 of Star Wars, like just trying to crawl away from the lava, but it's obviously on fire.
Yeah. Elf's leg is on fire, damaging her. She could barely walk. And Gwen couldn't fly. Gwen was just slowing Elf down.
Elf desperately tries to put the fire out on Gwen. Like, is trying to make sure that Gwen can escape.
Fine, Elf. Gwen is saved and her wing regenerates, just like her tentacle dead. But Gwen is too small to even carry the small elf. I'll die with you, Elf, Gwen says.
And Elf is like, not today, Gwen. Not today.
It turns out Gwen wasn't that great of a friend, and she escapes and doesn't feel bad.
And Elf is like, no, Gwen stays with me, and we're both gonna escape this thing.
What? Lava fills the cavern, killing Elf and Gwen. And thus ends our tragic tale. The first and final novel of Lucky Lemon, the Agent. Lucky Lemon and the case of the mysterious gnome named Elf. Finn. There we go. Nope, that's definitely how it ended.
And then I think Elf pops out of the book into the real world. Angry.
And this is chapter 5, the resolution. Your story is over. It's time to confront your author. Your author has written parts of himself into their story, whether intentionally or unconsciously. I am no longer in control.
Mm-hmm.
You say your piece, Elf. You act without mercy.
Yeah. So Elf pops out of the book, and Elf goes, what do you think you're doing? Do you want me to never appear in any other book again? I thought you were my friend. You said that I was trying to help you, and then you just killed me and you killed Gwen? Lucky for you, Gwen is magical. She can't be killed. She's going to be reawoken. She's just inside that volcano until someone comes and chisels her out. And that would be kind of cool if I get to do that later. But you don't get credit for that. I get credit for that. And also, this cult leader guy, he just dropped you and me and Gwen into lava, and you still want to impress him with your writing skills? That's just kind of sad.
That you're the one who decided it should be the cult leader who was the villain, okay?
I decided. I saw him there. And because you put him in there. Because in your mind, he's also the villain. You know it. I know you do, deep down. And no, the answer is not creating your own cult. So don't even try it. You gotta get some help, man. They have therapists specifically for this thing.
I'm sorry, Elf. And the other lunges to grab you. I'm going to take you to the cult leader. You'll be so impressed.
And then Elf stomps on your foot and goes, "No, I'm not meeting Bunhead. I'm not going anywhere with you. I already did a whole journey with you that barely made any sense. And I don't even think we solved the problem. Like, I'm pretty sure all of those agents are still double agents. Lucky Lemon is dead. It's just... It barely qualifies as a tragedy. We didn't even set anything up like it was a tragedy. It just felt like you were flying by the seat of your pants. Haven't you ever read any other books before? Because I've been in a lot of books. And I really feel like maybe pacing was off on this one.
I read. Mostly I watch movies like Boondock Saints. Greatest movie.
Oh, Elf stunned. Elf says, "Look, I still want to be a friend. I still think that you can go and impress other people. You could impress me right now by never letting anyone else read that book."
I don't know if I can do that.
I know you can. I know you can. You don't want that comment section. You don't want it.
I can edit
And
it.
then Elf... I can edit it. Elf grabs the book and takes it out of your hands. Or whatever, your laptop, you were typing it. Were you on a old-fashioned typewriter, or are you on your laptop?
Yeah, he definitely was. Even though he
so
tried
Elf
pressing
grabs
delete. No wonder the delete button didn't work.
Yeah, no wonder it never worked. So Elf grabs the stack of the manuscript and is like, "Well, then I can make sure that nobody ever reads this." And then Elf grabs a lighter, which undeniably is in this person's dorm room, and holds the lighter underneath the manuscript to burn it. Anything you want to say?
I think I hate you.
Elf lights says, "Give it up! I'm on the high ground," and then lights it on fire.
As he stares bitterly at you, Elf. I think you should go.
And Elf says, "Yeah, I agree." But stays just a little while longer to make sure that there's no part of this manuscript goes unburned, just in case. And then, I guess while it's on fire, throws it into a trash can, makes sure it's burned all the way, and says, "All right, bye," and leaves.
Does Elf hop into another book?
Elf tries and walks directly into R. Sanderson's bookshelf like walks directly into it, and it doesn't work. And so Elf's like, and uses the door of the dorm room and just like walks out down the hallway like a normal person.
Ouch. That's ouch. Also, sorry if you can hear my sister in the background.
We can, but I can't really tell what she's saying.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I think this is the end of the story. This is the end of the tale of Elf and Lucky Lemon R.R. Anderson. Yeah, thank you for everyone for tuning in for Death of the Author by Sam Lee. I'm excited for when the full version comes out. I already backed it. I'm excited to get a physical version of it. Yeah, I Mika, Emily, talk about yourself, plug anything you want, and then let's with like our last few minutes, maybe talk about how we felt about this book and this journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm Emily Rich once again, and you can find me online at Mercedes Rich. So Mercedes spelled like Mercedes, R-I-C-H, on basically any social media. I would love to see you there. You can check out what I've got going on right now. I've got some. Now I've got some art up and some writing up in a gallery in Highlands, North Carolina. If any of you are in the Blue Ridge Mountains anytime soon or nearby, you can stop by. You can find that information on my Instagram. But otherwise, I'm just excited to be here.
All right, what were your thoughts about the game and this story we created together?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it. I felt like it took a minute for us to sort of understand what the dynamic needed to be at the beginning. Because by the time we were like in the part where it's the gameplay is supposed to be like the rising action, we had already started like really rising. And so that was kind of funny. But I liked once we got through like prologue and chapter 1, suddenly the cards were starting to actually be helpful to us. And those prompts became functional for us, and it became more clear on my end, like when should I use the defiance, when should I use the reversal. Whereas like during the prologue in the chapter 1, I was like, we're just still trying to figure out like what this story is going to be and what it's about and how I'm supposed to frame my defiances and reversals. But then once chapter 3 hit, I felt like, oh, okay, we both now know how the flow of this is going to go, and so it took off a little bit. Yeah, but it felt a little, it was like a little dicey there at the beginning. I was like, we're about to like tell a story that like just keeps going down a road that we're like, we don't know, there's no end point to this road. So I'm glad we found it.
I think like if we play again, it'll definitely be easier to get from the beginning to really get there. Yeah.
Totally.
I know one of the other options of the game also is to, for each chapter, draw all 3 cards so you can make the chapter more cohesive that way. I'm sure it might be a bit easier to, because this game can be played either solo or duo. I prefer it playing as a duo game though.
Yeah, it's definitely more fun. I think it would be more fun than if I were just doing it alone, because it's hard to be sort of antagonistic to yourself playing both the character and the author. Although I think as a writing exercise that's really interesting, but it's more fun when it's like the two of us who are almost never antagonistic to each other in our normal friendship. That's just not like our
Almost
vibe.
never.
Yeah, almost never.
It's usually during D&D when it is antagonistic.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And to be able to be like, okay, how do I not even be antagonistic until like the very end? Like, just how do I challenge Mika to do something different or to change his plans halfway through? And that became more and more fun as we went. I felt like, because at first it felt super foreign, because you and I both do improv, and so for my main goal to be saying no instead of yes and at first felt like really strange, as like a way of telling story. But as we went, it became easier to go, oh, okay, I see. So Mika can set it up this way. And all I have to do is say, actually, it was this, which normally kills an improv scene. But I felt like we started to understand when and how that could work to make the scene better and to build us up where we needed to go. Yeah.
Especially once we better understood both our characters. Or I guess better understood my character. Because you and I are already familiar with Elf, like Elf's. But like figuring out Lucky Lemon, R.R. Anderson, and what he was about. I really wish this, when we were, so Emily and I met in grad school creative writing program, and this would have been really fun to have had in one of our classes as a writing exercise.
Oh, totally. Because I feel like there's something about the way grad school, this isn't true of every class, but I feel like there are a lot of students, I'll say, not really instructors, who feel the need to be antagonistic and critique. They're like, ooh, I don't like that you made this choice, or they actively are working against you. And I think that's often helpful for a writer to go, actually, no, I'm really sticking to my guns on this one. I really don't want to go the direction that you clearly want this to go. And so to have a structured way of doing that encourages that without it being mean-spirited, I think would be actually really helpful in thinking about critique and thinking about the way you approach collaboration and in the writing process and in the editing process.
So Sam unfortunately wasn't able to be here and watch. Hopefully they catch the VOD. And Sam, if you made it this far watching the VOD, please think about sending this to some creative writing programs to see if any of them would be interested, like maybe even just a high school creative writing program or to undergrad, even grad. Like I said, I think even a grad program could benefit from this. Anyway, thank you so much, Emily, for being here. And quick plug, go ahead and go to our Ko-Fi. You can, maybe not for today, but in future games, you can donate a little bit of money to change the type of things to affect the story, like advantage on rolls, etc. And if you join our Ko-Fi, if you subscribe to our Ko-Fi, it's $5 a month, and unlike subscribing through Twitch, you get more through us, and you also, we get to see all the money, because Twitch is mean and keeps more money than it should. And this money goes to, like, we don't actually make the money. This money goes to keeping our Discord up, and most importantly, goes to buying new indie games that we can introduce to all of you here on stream. And so our next stream is in 30 minutes. I will also be in that. We'll be playing Host, which is a conversation between a human and the alien parasite infecting them. Thank you all once again, and good morning and good luck. I don't know why. Don't be a bad author.